Hello, English learners, and welcome back to the Professor English podcast, the show where we help you not just learn English, but live in English. I'm James.
And I'm Clara. Today, we're going to talk about something that's a real game changer for English learners: how to think in English.
That's right. Most English learners start by translating everything in their head. For example, you might think something in your native language first, then translate it into English before speaking.
Exactly. And that translation process can make your speech slower, your pronunciation less natural, and sometimes your sentences sound, well, a bit robotic.
Yeah, we've all heard that before. It's not your fault. It's a normal stage of learning. But if you want to speak English fluently and naturally, you have to train your brain to think directly in English, just like native speakers do.
And today, we'll show you exactly how to do that with practical strategies, examples, and exercises you can start using right away.
So, Clara, before we jump into tips, let's define what it really means to think in English.
Good idea. Thinking in English means that your brain begins to form ideas, reactions, and sentences in English first, without needing to translate from your native language.
Exactly. It's like when you see a cup of coffee, and instead of thinking in your language, "That's a cup of coffee," then translating it, your brain instantly says in English, "Coffee. I want some."
Right. Thinking in English is when the language becomes part of your thought process, not something you switch on only when you speak.
That's what native speakers do. They don't translate. They connect images, feelings, and ideas directly to words.
Yes. And that's what makes their English sound automatic and smooth.
So, why is this so important for learners?
Well, when you translate in your head, you create a small delay before speaking. It's like your brain has to walk through 3 doors. First your language, then the translation, then English.
Exactly. And by the time you finish walking through those doors, the conversation has already moved on.
Thinking in English removes that delay. You become faster, more confident, and more natural when you speak or write.
And it helps with listening, too. When your brain is used to thinking in English, you understand conversations and movies without constantly translating in your head.
It's like switching from manual to automatic mode.
Exactly.
Now let's talk about a mistake almost every learner makes: translating everything.
Right. I used to teach a student from Brazil, and whenever she wanted to say something, she would think in Portuguese, translate it, and then say it in English. But the sentences always sounded a little off.
That's so common. Different languages have different sentence structures, and sometimes direct translations just don't work.
For example, in some languages you might say, "I have hunger," but in English we say, "I'm hungry."
Yes. So if you're always translating, your grammar and word choice can sound unnatural.
And that's why we have to train your mind to use English patterns directly. No translation needed.
All right, let's get practical. How can our listeners actually train their brain to think in English?
Tip number 1. Use English for everyday thoughts.
Exactly. Throughout your day, start describing what you're doing in English. For example, when you wake up, think, "I'm getting out of bed." When you eat breakfast, say, "This coffee smells amazing."
You don't have to speak out loud. Even thinking these short sentences helps your brain connect English words directly to your actions.
Yes, because that's how children learn language, through observation and repetition, not translation.
Tip number 2. Label your world.
Oh, I love this one. You can put sticky notes on objects in your home, like mirror, door, desk, chair. When you see them, your brain connects the word directly to the item, not to your native word.
It's a small change, but it builds an English thinking environment around you.
And tip number 3, think in simple English.
Yes, that's crucial. You don't have to think in complex grammar right away. Start with short, clear thoughts like, "I'm tired, it's raining, she looks happy."
Exactly. The goal isn't perfect grammar, it's fluency of thought.
As your vocabulary grows, your thoughts become more complex automatically.
Here's something interesting about English-speaking cultures, especially in the US. People think in chunks or phrases, not word by word.
Right, for example, instead of thinking, "How I can say this?" a native speaker's brain automatically jumps to expressions like, "You know what I mean?" or "That sounds great."
Exactly. That's why learning phrases instead of single words helps you think more like a native.
It's like having ready-made building blocks in your mind, phrases you can grab instantly during conversation.
That's how your brain starts processing English naturally, through patterns and rhythm, not grammar rules.
Okay, let's take a moment to go through some phrases and thoughts you can start using in English every day.
Great idea. Let's teach them some inner thought examples.
Phrase 1, what do I need to do next? A simple thought you can use while planning your day.
Phrase 2, I wonder what that means. Perfect for when you hear a new word or phrase.
Phrase 3, let's see. Native speakers use this all the time while thinking or pausing.
Phrase 4, that's interesting. A quick reaction phrase that helps your brain form natural responses.
Phrase 5, I'm not sure, but maybe. This helps you sound thoughtful and confident even when uncertain.
All right, everyone. It's time for our fluency builder.
We'll say each phrase slowly. Repeat after us, even if you're alone. This really helps.
Say it with us. What do I need to do next?
Good. Next, I wonder what that means.
Now try. Let's see.
Excellent. Next, that's interesting.
And finally, I'm not sure, but maybe.
Fantastic. Practicing short, natural English phrases like these helps you form English thoughts more quickly.
So, how do we turn this into a habit?
Here's how. First, immerse yourself daily. Surround yourself with English, podcasts, subtitles, YouTube, books, so your brain stays in English mode.
Second, narrate your life in English. While cooking, walking, or driving, think in English. Describe what you see, hear, or feel.
Third, be patient. It takes time for your brain to switch languages naturally.
Yes, you might start small, maybe just a few thoughts a day. Over time, your inner voice will naturally switch to English more often.
And here's a cultural note. In American English, people value confidence over perfection. So, don't worry if your English thoughts aren't perfect. The key is to keep thinking in English every day.
Exactly. It's not about knowing every word. It's about using the words you do know fluently and confidently.
Well, that brings us to the end of today's episode of the Professor English podcast.
We hope today's lesson helps you start thinking in English, one thought at a time.
And remember, the more you practice, the more automatic it becomes.
If you found this episode helpful, please like, share, and subscribe to the Professor English podcast. It really helps our community grow.
And leave us a comment. Tell us, what English thought are you practicing this week?
Until next time, keep listening, keep practicing, and keep thinking in English. Goodbye.